Tonight on #Actress Life Season 2. Actor and coach Shiek Mahmud-Bey giving you acting tools to help further your career. Actors Vincent and Lester Greene discuss homosexuality in the business, and Alexander Larkin lights up our LimeLight segment. Shiek Mahmud-Bey is an actor, director, and producer with a long-standing career working with some of the best in the business, such as Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro, Joaquin Phoenix, and many more. He shares his knowledge and gift with others in his acting studio, Shiek Studios, where he places an emphasis on working from a place of honesty and truth. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Perspective segment. I am here with legendary Shiek Mahmud-Bey. Right?
I got it. Okay. You've been working on it.
Been working on it. Okay. So today we will be discussing his acting workshop. Also his career as an actor. Actor first, though, right?
Actor first.
All right. So let's get right into it. So throughout the course of your career, you've worked alongside Robert De Niro, Nicolas Cage, Andy Garcia, Philip Seymour Hoffman, just to name a few.
Wow, look at you.
So I did my research, So at what point did you decide to start coaching?
I started a company in California, 4140, group of actors and writers, and we were just trying to create. The industry changed, and we just started, like, every week we would meet, and I ended up running the daggone classes, and after a while they were like, Shiek, you need to teach. And I was like, nah, I don't want to teach. And I had friends that asked me to help them with their audition, and things started happening. And then, to me, I didn't want to coach because acting an acting coach was a failed actor, So I was like, I ain't trying to do that. But then Jeff Goldblum had a class in Burbank, and I was like, what? If the fly can teach, she can teach.
As working with different actors, what would you say are some of the most common mistakes or ways that actors sabotage themselves?
I think challenging. I think for most actors, the most challenging thing to do is to get out of your own head, your ego. One of my acting coaches, my godfather, who was a psychologist, used to always be on me about my ego, and I was like, man, I ain't got no ego, but yet you do have an ego. I just didn't identify with it. When you're worried about what you look like, or how you're viewed, that's your ego. That's not you committing to the character's life. That's you, the actor, getting in the way of what the character wants to say. Living his life or her life. So that's once I get working with actors. Once I get them out of that, I don't care. It flows. Because nobody wants to fail, but what success is. Overcoming the fear of being unsuccessful. So it's like once you get over, even thinking you can fail, you flow.
Is there a certain technique you prefer to use, or
all of it? I like it all. I'm big on Meisner. I do a lot of Meisner because Meisner keeps you present. But we use it all. I've learned it all, so we use it all, and I'm always learning. I have friends who hang out with Strasberg, which is also Meisner. But we I use it all. It all works. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
I use it.
Now, I know that some people use the method technique.
This method scares me.
I don't
once.
particularly prefer that method because I think there's a such thing as going too far. And method acting, I think, can take you too far.
I did a movie once, and I tried to do a little method and smoked a little weed, because it was a guy scene, and I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of that. I said, well, the character would do it, so they passed it, and I was like, and I was messed up for like a week or two. I was like, man,
right.
I'm done with the method, you know what I mean? But nah, that's commitment. But there's other ways, my body, my mind, it was like, I'm like, whoa. I'm the dude to get drunk off a Calvin Cooler.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. She said, "Oh wow, yeah." So that was a long time ago, and that was the last time.
For this learning lesson, stuck with you.
It was early in my career. I ain't know no good.
All right. Now, I know you've been in the industry for a while, and you've had an opportunity to see how the industry has changed.
Yeah.
So, how has it shifted?
So it changed a lot, but because those guys are coming down, or shifting, not coming down, or going to television, it kind of makes it harder for other actors, as myself. So now we got to create our own things because it's about business. Yeah. It's about money. And once you understand, that took me a long time to get, man. Yeah. That it's not personal, Shiek.
Yeah.
It's about money. It's, I was in a conversation with a group of actors in California, and I was like a fly on the wall because all these actors were successful, and I'm like, damn, I'm here, I made it,
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, someone said, they all had television shows, and somebody said, people who don't understand the business call it Hollywood, but people who understand the business call it Moneywood. And once you understand it's a business, then it won't hurt as much as it does when you when you hear that no. You're like, all right, cool, I wasn't good for this. I had a friend who even said that he was I don't want to say his name, but he was playing Jack Johnson, Joe Lewis, and I wanted to go in for Malcolm X, and he said, well, because I went in for Malcolm X the movie, and they went with
Denzel?
No, they were not Denzel, right? No, they went with Mary Van Peebles. And Ali, the movie Ali.
Oh, Ali, okay,
and so,
I got you.
And so then, this person said, well, listen, man, if I'm letting you know, if Will Smith call or somebody call who got a bigger name and say, yo, I want to play Malcolm, it ain't personal, And so I was like, damn, you too, brute? But it was a wake-up call. It's a business, huh? Yeah. It is what it is.
What would you say, of all the lessons you've learned in this industry, what would you say is the most valuable lesson you learned?
As far as what? That's a general question.
As about the business.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned about the business? In what perspective? Because that's a tricky question. That's one of the questions that get you.
Right.
So like what? Like from a personal perspective, or from what perspective? What's the biggest lesson?
From a personal perspective.
The biggest lesson I've learned?
Yeah, that's helped you personally.
The hardest lesson I learned, because I'm a loner, the hardest lesson I learned was that people got to know who you are. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. Because I know everybody. Everybody.
Was that right?
You know what I mean? So, and it's a social business. People got to like you. I've had a couple of directors, big directors. Sidney Lumet was one. Barbara Schroeder was another one. They had to like you. People want to work. There was another executive producer who's doing well right now, Sandra Moses, and she said as well, people got to like you. People, they want to work with, because you're spending long hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That big-headedness and when you think it's about you, then that's the beginning of your downfall. It's a collaborative thing, and to love myself. Yeah. That's the biggest. I think that might be the biggest thing, to learn to love myself. Because I'm hard on myself. I don't know about other actors or people in general, but that's my life, man. Acting. I used to box. Acting found me, and it's my life. But when it don't go right, you know how it is. We go into our world, man.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm a loner as it is. I shut the door. I'll sit and I go through it.
Like I said, I told you off camera. I feel like a lot of workshops, a lot of these schools and stuff, they sell people dreams. And they make money off of people's dreams and don't tell people the reality. And when they get into it and they see the reality of the business, then people get discouraged. And
you're so country, I love it.
They discouraged. They get discouraged,
okay.
And they end up giving up. And I feel like that's so tragic.
You. But it's not for you. It's not for you. People, I know you look at me like I'm crazy. If you believe, if it's in you to do, you gotta want to do this, man. You gotta want to do this, and if you get discouraged, then it wasn't really for you anyway. It was something you were trying out. I know actors that are broke, poor, but they still acting, and they still find a way. because it's in them to do this. You got to do this. If you get discouraged, then you ain't supposed to do this. You take a break. We all take breaks. You got to. You have to, you know. But if you get discouraged, then you ain't really want to do this.
Charlamagne God say, F your dreams.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, then you ain't. Because I can't think of anybody who really wanted it, giving up.
Right.
They may take a break, but they're going to come back. You know? If you can walk away and keep going, you ain't really want it.
Right.
I'm telling you, I know actors that are broke. That'll be like, yo, I'll just do it, just put me in it. Actors that'll work free. I'm one. If I believe in your project, I know I shouldn't say this on television. People be like, what? You know? But if I believe in your project, I'm going to take a chance on it. I'm going to take a chance on it. You're going to hit me off on the back end. We're going to talk something out. Because if you make money, come on, you got to share it.
Right.
You know? But I'm going to take a chance on it because I believe in you. I believe in your project. I've done it. You know? That's just how it is. You know? So ain't no discouraging there. You know, you got to want this.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this is why I like what you're doing with this, because what you're doing is you're creating a bridge, you know, for people who've made it, who haven't made it, who are interested in making it, who have some kind of feeling inside, I want to do this, but they don't know how to nourish it or go up. This is what you created a vehicle for that to happen. You got all these people from all these directions coming in. So this is really nice. This is good. This is good.
Thank you.
It's good. It's very maternal of you. You know what I mean? Country.
You know, that Southern hospitality.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. It's good. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you again.
This has been a wonderful conversation. And if people wanted to look you up just for your workshop or just,
ShiekStudio.com. Shiek, what's my camera?
Right here.
Oh, yes, okay. ShiekStudio.com. You know. Or my email is shiekstudio@gmail.com. There you go. Holla.
Holla. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to The Perspective. Stay tuned for our meeting of the minds. Want more #Actors Life? Follow our blog, The Breakdown, where we bring you exclusive behind-the-scenes footage of information and inspiration to set your career in entertainment. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Actors Life 1, and tune into our show, #Actors Life, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Channel 4 of the CNB Network. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Meeting of the Minds segment. Today's topic of discussion is homosexuality in entertainment. My guests today are Vincent Ford and Lester Greene. Lester is back for the second time this season, because I know this particular subject matter you are very passionate about.
Absolutely.
So I definitely wanted to bring you in for this this subject. First of all, I know for years in film and television, homosexuality, the images were not really acceptable. But as time has progressed, like, things have changed a lot. They haven't changed completely, but they have changed. So first off, since you guys have been in the business, how has it affected your career being homosexual?
Well, being openly gay has never been an issue with me. I've never been in the closet, really, at least with my career. I've always been openly gay. I started doing stand-up comedy back in 2003, and I was always an openly gay stand-up comic. Oh, so, nice. So I always did that, and it was actually accepted very, very well. I would be pulled aside by people and say, "Oh my God, you were the best one up there," and everything like.
Right.
Yeah, it was. I really, I guess I just made them laugh, and made fun of myself and everything. So it always went really well. I mean, it was really, really great. Positive experience on my end.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, total opposite with me.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a little different in the African American community.
Yeah.
You know that.
Right. Yeah.
It's just something that's not talked about, and it's frowned upon. So with me, it was easy for me to maneuver because I don't come across gay, if you will. I hate saying it that way. Yeah. And so I was able to play sports and and music and play music and things like that. And so it was easy for me to get around it. So I never really had to deal with it head on, but I knew ultimately if I wanted to pursue acting, I would probably have to come to grips with that reality. And so now I'm dealing with it head on.
For so many years, when homosexuality was brought up in entertainment, particularly like in film, it was always comedic. It was always made fun of.
And it was very stereotypical.
Right.
It was a mockery. It was something to laugh at all the,
Right.
where they were laughing at them and not with them.
Right.
But it really changed, like I said, in the days of Ellen DeGeneres, like with when her show where she came out and said, "Yep, I'm gay," and Will and Grace. I mean, yes, you laughed and everything, but you really didn't feel. You felt more like this. People were finally saying, "No, this is cool. This is great." She's
right. Because at the end of the day, like homosexuality has always been in entertainment.
True.
Since the beginning of film.
Right.
Yeah,
it's always been there.
Whether it was a butt of a joke or not, it was always there.
It was
Even in
always
silent
there.
films, you see them. They wouldn't say, they would be, a lot of them would be genderless. They would,
Right.
but, just, but they would always be the sissy. Or the woman that never got married, or something like that. But they're there. They were there. They just couldn't use the word.
Right.
That's true.
Auntie and Auntie Sue.
I meant to say spinster.
They roommates.
Yeah.
They're roommates.
The
whatever.
roommate. Yeah, they're roommates.
Right.
But
we know what's going
they
on.
couldn't really use the word. They didn't even use the word gay until
That's
like
great.
the 70s.
That's great.
That's true. Very true.
Everything else, occasionally, like for news reports and stuff like that, they were homosexual. But it always sounded so clinical. It's just like and but yeah, you would see them, but they just you couldn't say it. That sort of thing. That's really bad. Yeah.
Wow. Have you guys experienced discrimination or
Homophobia?
Homophobia since you've been in the business?
A little bit here and there, but I guess since I've always been out, I kind of have that weapon. What are you gonna do? It's just like tell my mom.
Right. Are you gonna tell on me now?
You're gonna tell on me?
But guess what? She knows.
Are you gonna out me?
That,
yeah.
Right.
You're gonna out me? It's just like one time I was at a stand-up comedy club and they came up to me and says, "Do you have anything else besides gay material?" I mean, and I'm just like, but that's like telling even Eddie Murphy, he talks about being black. He talks about being from the hood. He talks that would be like telling them, "Do you have anything else about being black?" Or someone who's Jewish.
Right.
Like Woody Allen, his whole comedy early on in his career was about being Jewish. He was making fun of this Jewish stereotype, and it was funny.
Yeah.
It was great, but if they did that to him, he wouldn't have had an act.
Yeah.
It's
No
just
material.
No material. That everyone has their thing.
Right.
So when they say that, it's very disrespectful, and just
agree.
accept that people have their thing.
Right.
And just if they don't want that in their club, or if they don't want that in their, find someone else.
Don't book them.
Yeah, don't book them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
And I love that.
very important.
I feel we all should live our truth.
Especially as creatives.
Right.
It's very important
It
for you
is.
to live your truth. And it's a lot of times especially with theater, like the main logo for theater is like the comedy tragedy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Masks.
Oh, okay.
And that's of course because like most plays are either comedies or dramedies, but it's like that's very, very reminiscent of life. You have so many people who walk around with masks.
Yep. Yeah.
Preach.
Because they're afraid
Mask
to live
on.
their truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just because they're afraid of being judged, because they're afraid of
Not being loved.
Right.
And they're afraid of their parents disowning them and not loving them anymore. I think that's the main thing that goes through people's minds of not being who they are. Is,
Right.
oh my God, my mom and dad won't love me anymore. And that's the most horrible thing to imagine.
Right.
But the thing is, as an actor, I think the reason why I like being an actor is because I get to put on a mask and I get to pretend to be something that I'm not. It's different. I love that challenge of trying to do something that I wouldn't normally do.
Yep.
So I do that in the acting world, but in real life, I think it's important for me to just embrace my individuality.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
And I just want
So
to
you get
touch
the
on another
best of both
thing.
worlds.
You were
Go
talking
ahead.
about theater. And one thing I've always noticed that when you compare film and theater when it comes to being gay, theater is much more accepting.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's much more. I mean, the most wonderful stories have been
Yeah.
told. The plays about being gay, like The Normal Heart,
Yeah.
or Torch
Oh,
Song
yeah.
Trilogy. These
Yeah.
were award-winning plays that they majorly were made into films, but the original plays broke ground. La Cage aux Folles, which
Yeah.
became The Birdcage or whatever, they all came from theater, and they all came from and everything, and it just it's just a different world. I mean,
It is.
film has always been more conservative in general. It's I saw an interview with someone one time, and they said it's Hollywood has always been kind of a cowboy town when it came to that sort of thing.
Interesting.
But theater, even from the long time ago, they always accepted gay lesbian people and stories.
And why
so
is
many
that?
plays.
Do you know why?
I don't know. It's
I
just
think it's because, especially like in Roman times in the Roman Empire, like all the players were men.
yeah,
Like,
and they would be in
so
drag. They would literally
yeah.
be in drag.
So even if it was a
Shakespeare.
female character, it was
right.
still a male playing the
Exactly,
character.
yeah.
So it was.
And that's
I
hundreds
guess
and
it
hundreds
was-
and hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is.
I
Yeah.
get
Women
it.
weren't allowed to
I get
to
it.
be in theater. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
it because the images
really
were
interesting.
always there.
There.
It was just always accepted.
I get it.
Yeah.
And
But-
but see, that's the
Yeah.
thing, though.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people who are like in the industry who are gay,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
but
You know what I
they're
always
not
say?
All over the
openly
place.
gay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know who runs Hollywood? Gays and Jews.
I
They
agree.
run Hollywood. That's
I
why I always
agree.
say gays and Jews run Hollywood.
agree.
You know.
But isn't that like the irony in it all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that homosexuality is very, prominent
Yeah.
in the entertainment industry in film.
I think it's
In
because-
film,
It is.
but the images for the longest were not.
And the
like,
behind the scenes
a
were-
lot.
Oh my gosh.
I don't get that. Yeah, I agree.
Oh wow. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for this conversation.
No
It's
problem.
been very enlightening.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thanks you. Yeah.
No problem. Thank you guys for being transparent and living your truth.
Yes. Very important. Yes.
Right. Absolutely.
We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully, if there's someone out there watching who is afraid to open up and to be who they are.
I'm willing to talk to them. Yeah. They can always find me on Instagram or whatever.
What's
My Instagram is at Vincent Ford Actor.
Nice.
Vincent Ford Actor.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, I guess you could just follow me at Greene_Lester on Twitter. Just type in Lester Greene and something will come up.
Right. Hey, we haven't made it all the way as a society, but we're definitely getting there.
We're getting there.
So,
Yeah, we're getting there.
if
The path is getting wider.
right, right. So, don't be afraid to live your truth, gay, straight, or indifferent. Always live your truth. There's nothing more beautiful than that.
Yeah.
And with that being said, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
I would have destroyed myself for this woman. Gladly. I would have eaten garbage. I would have sliced my wrists open. Under the right circumstances. I mean, if she says, "Hey Phil, why don't you just slice your wrists open?" I mean, come on. But seriously, we clicked. We connected on so many levels. We talked about God once for 3 hours. I don't know what good it did, but that intensity. And the first time we went to bed, I didn't touch her. I mean, I didn't want to, you understand? And I know I played it very casually because, hey, I've had a few rough experiences. I'm the first one to admit it. But after a few weeks, I could tell that we were right there. So I laid it all out. Everything that I wanted to say to her. And you know what she says to me? She says to me, she says, "No one should ever need another person so badly." Can you believe that? I mean, what the hell is that, right? Is that something you heard on television? I'm pouring my heart out, and you're giving me Joyce Dr. fucking Brothers? Need. All right, so what if I did need her? All right, I needed her. Crucify me. I don't want to be by myself. I'm by myself, I feel like I'm going out of my mind. I really do. I sit there and I think, I'm not going to make it through the next 10 seconds. But I do. I get through the 10 seconds, but then I need to do it all over again because these seconds just keep coming, and I'm waiting for something. I don't know what. A car wreck? A nuclear war? I know that sounds terrible. But at least there would be a moment when I know that I'm alive. Because I look in the mirror and I don't believe that that's me. It's like my body is the size of the Statue of Liberty, right? And I'm down in one of the legs. and I'm scratching around inside this hairy leg like some kind of tiny fetus inside my own foot. I don't know who I am or where I'm going, and I wish I'd never been born. Not only that, but my hair is falling out, and that really sucks.
On the next #Actors Life, director DC Epic Coles discusses his transition from being one of the top music directors in the music industry to dominating film, and Eldoni Mason is back to give you the legal boundaries of your manager and/or agent. Don't miss it.